Chapter 7. Rage and Ruin. After a harrowing battle with a massive whale in the Orcish afterlife, you and your party find yourselves swallowed. A sign from Imtora. Imtora! You scream your lover's name as you're swept away in the water, the light growing dimmer and dimmer. Wallace clings desperately to your collar, his little paws scrabbling uselessly against the current. Deplete the whale's energy. The reach-out hand extended towards the whale's massive mouth. The beast shudders, a sonorous sound of discomfort shaking you to your bones. You feel the whale's power flow through you, intoxicating as a fine wine and as powerful as a hurricane. Aaron, with me. Aaron sets his jaw and holds his arm out, his veins beginning to pulse and beneath his skin as he absorbs the creature's power. It's working. Your world suddenly twists on an axis as you go weightless once again. Then you're thrown to the side as you hear a muffled but massive splash. The tether between you, Aaron, and the creature snaps as the water sweeps you into the creature's throat and you start to plummet. Then suddenly you realize you're not falling at all. Alright. You land on dusty, arid ground, coughing as you stumble to your feet and try to beat the sand from your clothes. Wallace sneezes. Are you alright, buddy? He nods his head and then rubs against your leg, nuzzling into it. Where are we? Certainly not inside a whale. There is no sign of life as far as the eye can see. Only derelict buildings, desolate and unending sand dunes. Wonderful. This place is as empty as the rest of our prospects. I think this is Keldahana, or something like it. The same way the elements are like places in the living world. But it definitely looks the way Imtora described. Could this really be the lost continent? It's not lost anymore, but if we found it, elf boy. I guess we should start by looking around. With any luck, we'll find Imtora or a way out of this place. I doubt we should depend on luck at this juncture. Not while I'm with you. Would that I could trade myself for Imtora. Valax. I am what's different here, Rain. It's time for you to accept that. All your missions had gone well before I joined you. You, Malney, and Tyrrell look at each other, bewildered, then Mal laughs. Who's gonna tell her? Malax, the first time we did battle with you, you nearly took Rain, again, and we failed to keep you from taking her the first time. Just because we happened to succeed does not mean it was not exceptionally difficult. He's right, we had plenty of troubles before we even met you. I mean, there was the Draknar, so there was this bug thing. Aaron almost got eaten. We almost got eaten. We were ambushed in the middle of the night, ended up in these gross gelatinous paw things. It was very touch and go. And messy, very messy. Point is, it's always been hard, Valax. That is reassuring. You all always made it seem so easy, like you knew you were going to come out on top. There's a secret to that, Violet. If you pretend you're confident, people will believe you are. Even when you don't have a clue what you're doing. Right now, we just have to make the best of what we've got, and that means exploring. You sat off along the wastes, looking for any sign of life or even a pathway, but it's a sea of sand and debris. Look! He points to a small patch of green at the bottom of one of the dunes. You rush over to it and pick up, revealing a moss-covered lore tablet. Rub off some of the green away from the title, Of the Elements. I think this must be about the Orcish afterlife. And perhaps it can tell us more about where we are now, and how do we get out of here? What can you tell us? becoming one with the elements. Orcs in the world above believe that when they die, they become one with the elements, the natural forces that act as their gods, their guiding lights, and the sources of power. This is generally true. Those found worthy become one with the natural world, just as their physical forms do when they are committed to the sea. The elements flow freely through both worlds, above and below. That is why the orcs say that they have no true afterlife. Their afterlife may just as easily bear them to the world of the living as the dead. The means by which a soul may join this shared infinity are varied, as there are souls. Most will gravitate towards a particular element, especially if they identified strongly with one in life. It is not uncommon for an orcish soul to change elements after they arrive, just as rain turns to oceans and leaves turn to dirt. The essence of the dead and nature itself is ever in flux, though one must remember that the soul can no more choose this transformation than a rock can choose to give way to water bit by bit. It is not a conscious choice, as there is no consciousness any longer, at least not in a way that anyone still living can understand. Animals who live there. Animals that live in the elements are the same as those found in the living world. This is where they come when they pass on, though many change into other parts of nature the longer they dwell there. You may wonder what makes these creatures different from the orcish souls that surround them. The simple answer is very little. Perhaps it is that their minds are less troubled, so they feel no need to shed them to find peace, or perhaps they simply do not wish to. You will not see me suggesting that a cat is not exactly as it wishes to be. All sorts of creatures can be found in the depths here. Some may seem fantastical, but all lived at one time or another. Let this remain a comfort when you consider the thrust of progress in the world above. The intelligence of these animals is a matter of much debate. They can craft tools, set traps, offer a truly scathing insult, should you deserve one. And yet I wonder, even now, if it is us that are the strange ones. To seek to pin down the nature of the elements is to stand before a hurricane and expect to remain dry. The Great Whale. If you spend any time in the elements below, you are likely to meet the Great Whale. The Great Whale is a guardian, prophet, and some might argue an executioner. It swallows all who are unworthy to explore the great sea below, and all those who do not belong, at least in their present form. No one knows where the Leviathan came from or who created it. I suspect that it is not created at all. It would be the most orcish thing, I think, for the marine behemoth to have appeared fully formed in this living ocean to serve as a purpose only the will of nature could tell. Those unlucky to find themselves within the Great Well will find a barren wasteland, much like Keldahana, the continent the orcs left behind. One might consider this punishment, but I argue that it is a simple reminder. The orcs destroyed their homeland long, long ago, by consuming it, devouring it without rest or replenishment. And so, to do so, lost souls degrade within the Great Whale until they have become one with an element the orcs refuse to honor: dust. How souls are judged. The judgment of an orcish soul would be entirely foreign to a worshipper of the great pantheon or the dwarven artificers and alchemists in their sun-drenched city. There is no trial by monsters pleading with an unseen forces for pity. An orcish soul simply is or is not. It is kind to animals, is not cruel to their fellow orcs or greedy when it comes to time to share their spoils, is gracious and grateful for the elements, is not given to defying the will of those forced without cause. The question of cause here intrigues me. It suggests that there is room and even an invitation to defy authority, be it parent, chieftain, or even a tumultuous sea herself. But that is a dangerous thought, as there is no way to know beforehand what voyage is wrong and what voyage is right. Still, the essences of rule is this. Those who have spurned nature or did not do enough to ensure its growth are swallowed by the Great Whale, forced to remain in a desolate land until not even their memories remain. You got a lore tablet. So the good news is, we're still in the whale. The bad news is that we stay here, the picture is, well, the place is going to eat it away at us until there's nothing left. Is that why I feel tired? I think I have a plan to get us out of here, but it's gonna sound kind of weird. We need to attack the ground. How is that going to help? We're in a whale. I don't think it's going to be too happy when we start stabbing its insides. You conjure a spectral weapon and aim it down at the sand, and soon the wasteland becomes a fireworks show of shimmering magic and glowing weapons. Wallace scratches at the ground. Yeah, but why did it take Wallace? He's a creature. It just said in the tablet that such things would not be sent here, so he'd be with Emtora if you think about it. Then the sand begins to rumble beneath you. Don't stop. With every strike, the shaking gets worse. Then the horizon splits open, sending a wall of water right at you. The water slams into you, knocking you off your feet and slamming you into the hard sand. When you come up, sputtering, you gasp, nearly choking on the water again as you see a familiar face. Stop. Stop attacking it. It's going to let you out. Anyone else feel like this might be a trap? Let me check. You close your eyes, focusing on Emtora as you find that calm space inside of you. Emtora floats beside the massive whale and places her hand on its scarred skin. Please, give them back to me. And now, for the first time, you see the gigantic creature nod, and it begins to sing. It's a haunting sound, soothing, deep, beautiful, and you watch as it opens its mouth to let Emtora inside. You snap back to the present and scramble over to your friends to stop them from attacking. She's telling the truth. This is our chance to get out of here. But the moment you take a step forward, something suddenly grabs you from behind. Oh, hi. What? I'll order it to let me go. You meet the skeleton's glowing eyes with a fierce glare, letting your magic pour into your voice as you speak. Leave. It immediately uncurls its skeletal fingers, letting you go, and then turns and starts to shuffle into the distance. That's what I thought. Excellent work, Rain. But then two more skeletons burst out of the water. It's coming. Emtora rushes to join you, the split in the horizon disappearing and the water receding with it as she does. But that only reveals even more skeletons crawling their way out of the sand, rapidly surrounding you. That's 26. Why are there 26? I really don't like this ratio. I'm not sure the ratio likes us either. Don't worry, that's me on everything. As your friends try to fight off the attacking horde, a trio of skeletons charges right for you. Charge them back, run for it. Before the skeletons can reach you, you run right at them and tackle them all to the ground. You crash on top of the creatures, landing hard, and you hear their bones snap and crack from the force. Whoops, clumsy me. Then you roll back on your feet, leaving them in a pile in the dirt. Conventional, or unconventional, but effective. This feels like on theme, does it not? Aaron brandishes the book you found in the city with no faces as a row of skeletons rounds on you. Get them, Aaron. He traces the runes with his finger before turning the text aside towards the skeletons themselves. A blast of ice shoots out from the book right at the corpses, freezing them solid. I did it! And you didn't even get tackled this time. He turns the page and traces out a new design, this time sending lightning bolts right through another one of the skeletons. And with every creature you and your party strike down, two more seem to take their place. How many of these things are there? Come on, Landrat. You love, she phrases in the midst of chaos, her eyes going wide. Is that... But I don't think it was real. You follow her gaze, spotting something pale and white propped up against the side of a ruined building. What wasn't real? The Harvester's Scythe. It's one of the most storied weapons in Orcish history. And we've got a lot of storied weapons. I think I'd take a chunk out of those skeletons. Its slice can clean through these guys. It would be a shame to just leave it here. Gotta go right now. You dodge an air skeleton and make a break for the building. A few breaking off from the pack to chase you. Once you get close, you grab the handle of the scythe and pull hard as you can, but it's stuck. Come on. Rain, look out! A skeleton's head slams into the wall in front of you, one of Imtora's spectral axes wedged in it. You've got more coming. Working on it. You give the scythe one more massive tug and it comes free just in time for you to whirl on your attackers. Rawr, look at me go. I should slice them in half. You lash out with the scythe, cutting through the skeletons like they're stalks of grain in a field. You hear a rippling, crackling sound, within screams of forces you can't imagine as the skeletons collapse to the ground and dissolve into salt. Imtora, I think you left out some of the details about the scythe. Oh, does it do the salt thing? I've always wondered about the salt thing. Thank you, Imtora. That was very specific of you. You got the Harvester's Scythe. Unhand me, you vile creatures! You turn to see at least 6 skeletons piling onto Valix, who struggles to blast them away with her magic. Slice her free. You whip your scythe back out, feeling the raw necrotic energy dance up and down the handle and along the blade. You know, boys, you should really fear the Reaper. Ha, it's a play on the song. You slice clean through the skeletons one after another, watching as they burst into clouds of salt. Because they're dead. Get it? We're all dead, Rain. Imtora held Valix to her feet, and she wipes the bone dust off her leather distastefully as another group of skeletons starts to swarm. Fight with honor, you cowards. If they had honor, Valix, they wouldn't have ended up here. Imtora tosses away her axes and balls her hands into fists as she steps into a deep puddle of water, fog seeming to billow out from her. Valix, at her back, floats into the air, dark magic swirling around her. Then let us teach them the meaning of it. Oh, now see, where was artwork this entire time like this? Dude, it's kind of badass. We need more of that. Purple energy shoots out of Alex's hands, blasting skeleton after skeleton, while Imtura pummels the remains with her fists. Looks like you two have things handled over there. You turn to find the rest of your friends getting overwhelmed by the other part of the horde. Rain, may I respectfully suggest we stop trying to kill these things and just get out of here? But they're between us and the exit. As you look around trying to formulate a plan, the skeletons swipe and bite at you. I can't think like this. I should threaten them, ask Nia for a shield. Yeah, threatening works. Shield. Nia, can you get these guys off us for a minute? On it! You feel light surround you as she throws up a golden bubble and encloses you all in a dome. The rest of your party easily forces the remaining skeletons out of it, giving you space to breathe. Thank you. These things have to have a weakness, something we're not seeing. Their strengths seem to be in their numbers, which we've already established we can't compete with. The tablet said that the people who wind up here are those who are found unworthy. What makes an orc unworthy, Imtora? Not respecting nature, killing needlessly, being greedy. Skeletons push and shove each other as they claw at Nia's barrier. We should appeal to their greed. We've got spectral weapons. Why not spectral coins? Drawing in the energy around you, you shape it into a handful of coins and then toss them into the crowd of skeletons. I guess they really want coins. Like vultures, they descend, clawing and biting at each other as they desperately try to scoop up the coins. Okay, that worked better than I expected. And here I thought I liked money. The skeletons busy fighting each other, you and the rest of your party follow Imtora towards the distant horizon. Imtora, you're sure the whale friend is gonna let us out? Don't worry. Hey, big guy, mind opening up? Once again, it's like the sky splits open and the water starts to flood in. But this time, when the current sweeps you off your feet, it carries you up and out. Back in the whale's mouth, you can smell the bracing brininess of the sea. Imtora pauses and turns, looking back at the wasteland. We found a lore tablet, Imtora. It said that this place is Kel Dahana. I know. The great whale told me. They told me everything, accepted me even though I tried to hurt them. The tablet said it was okay to defy the elements when you have just cause. My mother wouldn't have liked that. As we've already established, screw your mom. Do you think she ended up here? My mother? Imtora bites her lips, her tusks jut out ever so slightly. There's no way to know. But if you had to guess... I think Ventura went through what she thought she should. It feels like these things are kind of self-fulfilling in that way. So, if she didn't feel guilty, she wouldn't be punished? I suppose that's a logical conclusion, but at least you know if she did end up in the wasteland, it was by her own choice. It is a small comfort. Where would you like her to be? I don't know. And I hate that about myself. Please don't. You had a complicated relationship with her. It's only natural your feelings about her are still confused. Besides, certainty isn't some great virtue. Tyrrell will be the first to tell you that. As though the great whale agrees with you, the current whips up again, carrying you out of their mouth and into the underwater woods. The rest of your friends have settled underneath the trees, catching their breath, but Imtora seems reluctant to join them, letting out a sigh. You know, ever since we got down here, I've been dreading this. After seeing Mal and Maria, it just got worse. I know I shouldn't, because it's not how the elements work, but part of me wants what they had. Imtora, it's alright to question what you believe. I honestly think that's a big part of faith. Really? And you don't think it makes me less of an orc? No, to be fair, Nia thought so first. But I definitely agree with her. If you stopped questioning, you'd be less of yourself, and I don't think the elements would like that at all. She sets her shoulders back and takes a deep breath. I'll never know where my mom ended up, or get to ask her any of the hundreds of questions I have about her and what she did in life. But I think that maybe I can learn to be okay with that. You won't have to deal with that on your own. I'll be here for whatever you need. I always need you, Landrat, for as long as we've got. She cups your cheek in her hand, and for a moment, then pulls you in a hug, holding you tightly to her chest. And when it's my time, I'll be accepted back here. How do you know? The great whale told me. When I looked into their eye, I just knew that it was part of them. They were a part of me, or we were all a part of each other. That sounds incredible. Whatever I might question in my own heart, I know they understood and cared about me. The great whale coos and sings as it glides through the open water, your friends watching in awe. Then Wallace notices you and an Imtora, and he paddles clumsily over to join you. I missed you too, Bear Feathers. Imtora gives his head a little scratch before she looks back up at the whale. Do you think you'd want to stay here, Rain? Are you sure the elements would take me? I'm not an orc.
I know, Urain. I'd say that you have the heart of the sea yourself, if she wasn't using it.
It is beautiful. I love nature. To be at peace with it. I'd like it here. It's peaceful. There's all the wonderful animals, beautiful places. It honestly sounds like an idyllic place to spend the rest of eternity.
Really, Landrat?
If the elements will have me, then sure.
We'll be the same then, the two of us. Parts of one great whole. But that's gonna be a long, long time from now if I have anything to say about it.
Suddenly, remembering, you pull the bone scythe off your back and hold it out to him, Tora. Now, can you tell me about this? Why is it so necrotic and salty? Ha!
I didn't expect this whole thing to be true, though maybe I should have. At least it's not covered in tendons and bits of flesh like in the stories.
Ew?
Anyway, the Harvester Scythe belongs to one of the last great conquerors of Celt Dahana. He was called the Harvester because he took everything from his enemies and then salted the earth, leaving them with less than nothing.
And I want this man's weapon. Why?
1, it's so ancient I'm not even sure if the old gods would have heard of it or know how to defend against it. And 2, it looks incredibly badass.
As long as it's not going to curse me.
I'm pretty sure the Wasteland would have taken care of that.
What do you think, then? Shall we round up the party and try to get out of here one more time?
Actually, that fight left me kind of jittery, all bottled up like the winds in a jar.
You can put winds in a jar?
The whole folktale thing about it, I'll tell you sometime. But first, I need to get some of this pent-up energy out if I'm going to be at my best.
The great whale lets out a deep hum as it turns its massive eye on you, and you feel seen in a way you never have before. What are they saying?
That they really love your outfit.
Oh, thanks. Some of your friends made it for me. As they hum, a current swirls around you, spinning you in a circle so the whale can see your clothes from all sides. I guess you were right, Tora. The sea was smiling on me when she gave me this.
While you were all trapped in the wasteland, the great whale taught me something called rage. It's not about being angry, but about channeling your emotion and energy into intense strength and endurance.
Was that what the fog around you was when you and Valix were fighting together?
Sort of. I think influencing the elements like that is specific to this afterlife, but it did help me beat down some skeletons. They asked me if you wanted to learn it too. Only someone with strong will can, but I know that you have that.
You and Tora grab onto the great whale's flipper. The Leviathan beats her tail, carrying you into a more open area of the forest. Your home is really beautiful. The whale sings softly to you and then gives you a slow and very careful nudge.
I'm really new at this, but I think they're offering to answer any questions you have.
I don't even know what those questions would be.
Take your time, there's no rush.
The great whale trills and clicks, seemingly in agreement. A silence sets in. The whale seems unbothered, but you can already feel your skin getting hot in the perfectly cool water. Do you like being in this place? I imagine it's, a lot of responsibility having to guard all of nature. The whale's song fills you with warmth you've never experienced. Images flash through your head. A mother ape nursing her baby, a wolf pack slowing their pace for the elders, and a bee carrying pollen back to its hive. You like taking care of others. I guess I can understand that.
You take care of us, don't you, Landrat?
The great whale inclines its head towards you, and after a moment, you reach out to pet its slightly rough skin. I'm kind of surprised that this ability you're going to teach me is called Rage. You seem really peaceful. Appearances can be deceiving. More images, this time a forest of tree stumps in an empty valley, pieces of garbage floating in the sea, buffalo carcasses left to rot in the sun. On second thought, maybe I'm not.
Rage isn't about anger, though, Rain. It's about processing your emotions, letting them serve you rather than control you. That's why Great Whale taught me.
She swallows roughly, then takes another deep breath, seeming to center herself.
After you got swallowed, I was a mess. I was angry, panicking, but honestly, I think I've been this way for a while. When Valix took you, I broke a lot of things. It wasn't ever directed at anyone, but I felt helpless, so I took it on helpless objects.
Emtora.
I got overexcited in the opposite direction, too. I always wanted to pick people up and hug them. That's not always welcome, either. Do you ever feel out of control, Rain?
I get overwhelmed by emotions sometimes, yeah.
What do you mean by sometimes?
I can usually hold back tears until I'm by myself when something awful happens, but there are times I reach a breaking point where all the stress becomes too much and I either explode or shut down. Emtora puts her hand on your shoulder and gives it a gentle squeeze.
I'm sorry, Rain.
That's why sometimes Kate has to bully me into talking about my feelings so it doesn't get to that point. The song brings another series of images, a tree toppling over, a monkey leaping between vines, and a whale sinking into the ocean floor as its life ends. So, to do this, I just have to let go?
Yes. You don't need to control how you feel, you can let the emotions come. You just have to keep from being swept away by them. That's the beauty of rage, it's freeing.
You take a deep breath, reflecting on everything the great whale has shown you and everything Emtora's shared. I'll think of celebrations in Riverbend. It's freeing, it's uplifting, it's flowy, it's easy to pull that feeling of elation to the front of your mind, to go back to a time when laughing was as easy as breathing. Life was so much simpler back then. You can't help but smile, humming one of Cade's melodies under your breath.
You're doing great, Rain.
You shut your eyes as you sit with the emotion, giving it its due. Slowly you feel power pulsing through you, then surging like a wild sea. Your skin tightens, your body tingles, like every muscle is ready for whatever the world throws at you. I think I did it.
Time for a test. Think fast.
You open your eyes to see a gigantic boulder soaring through the water right at your face. Really, Emtora? Shatter it. Just as it's about to slam into your face, you thrust out your fist and smash the stone in front of you. I'm feeling like I should have gone the other way. Got angry. I'm just saying. I can't believe I just did that.
Isn't it fun when I get some more practice in?
I wish we could, but I think right now we need to go back to the others. But thank you for sharing this with me. I already feel a lot more at peace. The great whale fixes you with one of its massive eyes once more, and you can almost swear they're smiling at you.
Do we have to go? Can't we steal just another moment?
Alright, fine, you get a kiss. You lean forward, letting your lips find hers as you wrap your arms around her and hold her tight. It's like you're in the eyes of a storm, a perfect calm that you only find in her embrace. Was this what you were hoping for? You know, the cat to meow to? Her answers a kiss to you again, and one of her tusks nipping playfully at your lower lip before she deepens the kiss. She always tastes like the sea, but it's different here. Here, she tastes like potential, discovery, electrifying and powerful change.
This is always what I'm hoping for. I just wish we had more time.
You rest your forehead against hers, staring into her brilliant golden eyes that sparkle with affection. So do I. I love you.
I love you too, and I promise to never stop saying it.
You steal the oath with one final kiss, drawing it out for as long as you possibly can. Okay, we're coming. You both hang on tight as the great whale carries you through the water, back to your friends. Really, Cat? With the danger past, you reach back out to Cade to see what he's found, and he jumps up from his seat the moment he notices you. Ah, I think I found your thing. He digs through a massive pile of books and papers on his desk, only to retrieve a small, colorful one. The Rainbow Whale. Looks like a children's book. Ah, it is, but an orcish children's book. One of the only books I found that talks about the elements specifically. It's a story about a whale and a sea turtle who live in the elements and go on an adventure to another world via the EAC. What does that stand for? No idea. Oh, it's a little Nemo reference. I get it. Cute. But it's an underwater current that transports creatures to another land. Sounds like a way out to me. Then we'd better start searching for it. Good luck, and let me know if you run into any more trouble. At this point, is the AI writing this book? Oh! You give Cade a wave. Goodbye, as you come back to yourself, sitting with your friends in the underwater forest. So what's next, kid? Well, we're going to see a sea turtle. We're going to go on his back. He's going to take us to the EAC. We need to find some kind of current system, underwater one. I call the EAC.
EAC. Could be the Eastern Accessible Cape.
Eels and croctopuses.
Perhaps ever-aggressive chaos.
Listen, don't do me this, don't do this. How about eggs and crumpets, evil abysmal chasm, and elemental anchor chamber? Why not?
I'm pretty sure if there was an elemental anchor to this place, it'd be the Great Whale, not some passageway out of here.
Tyrrell clears his throat. Might I suggest El Hollis Access Corridor? Oh, I've heard of that. The only one of us who has a brain in the group, apparently. You have? Yeah, not as an underwater current, but... In olden times, El Hollis was surrounded by tunnels called access corridors that had to pass to into the city. It was a means of security. The great whale trills at you, turning his massive head to gesture towards an expansive ocean to the south of the forest. Looks like that's where we have to go. Thank you for all your help, Great Whale, and not eating us again.
Truly, how kind of you to sink our ship and not only swallow us once.
Aaron, be nice. The great whale starts to sing once again, and you and the rest of your party swim away into the depths. Wallace is near, inconsolable, clinging to you. I know, buddy. You'll see them again, just not yet. You gently stroke his back, and he nuzzles into your arms, comforting. You're not sure how long you've been swimming when you spot a swiftly flowing current that cuts through the crystal blue water. That's gotta be it. Come on.
I'm afraid not.
Bah-ram you. The figure suddenly appears before you, and diminutive in its stature, yet so self-possessed they exude power.
Who are you? An ancestor of yours, like little construct. Your eyes look so much like hers, you know.
But you may call me Itar. The god of love?
One of them, among other things. What do you want with us? Not really one for words. The aptitude belongs to my better half. I'm sure the twins already told you the basics. Come with me, or sacrifice, or suffer the consequences. I don't want to fight you. Good. Then we're in agreement. No, we aren't. I'm just giving you one more chance to walk away. I can't do that. Guess Nefara wants us to run the gauntlet while she sits up in her evil lair. Pathetic. Are we sure we want to do this? It's only one person. We'll be fine. We don't have a choice. Mao spins his spectral daggers as the rest of your friends either summon their own weapons or reach for their magic. Just tell us when, Rain. You're about to give an order when another figure appears, getting between you and Itar. One with a very familiar voice. Azur's smile is warm, inviting. Perhaps if you had seen that smile first, you might not have been so eager to banish Zur from your mind. Realm Walker. I'm Bakshi, and I'm here to help. Alright. Well, without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember that if you did enjoy the content, to like, share, and subscribe if you aren't already. Aside from that, check the pinned comment. But yeah, sorry about being a little late about this today, but basically I just did not feel good at all. Who knows? Who really knows? It's about that time of year, right? When the seasons change, and it's, you know, fall becoming winter, and you know, one day you've got 80 degrees, the next day you've got 30 to 40 degrees. It's just all over the place. And I do not handle weather changes that drastic, like, at all. Like, here it is going to be, it's just 80. It's going to be 50 today. It's usually about 30 to 40 at night. Like, it's all over the place. And it's not fun. It really isn't. And then also, I'm trying to deal with a few things myself, so... And then I'm trying to deal with, let's be honest, stress and the whole nine yards. So yeah, no, sometimes your body just says, yeah, welcome to a lull. You need to stop and rest for a minute. Otherwise, yeah, going beyond this point is not going to be good for your health. So... yeah, and whenever you're already not in the great place that you are, yeah, no, you need to stop and listen to your body. So, aside from that, hopefully you're all having a great day. Hopefully this was a release of, you know, getting away from real life issues, because I know this is why some of you tune in, and, trust me, I get that. Otherwise, hopefully you're all having a great day, a great week, and I'll catch you all later. Peace out.